Well. We are back. Sorry about that. We are back to the One Down podcast. And sorry about that. I was a couple of minutes late. And again, I want to say thank y'all. Thank you to everybody. There's a lot of motion up here. Got my folks up here. And what's today? Today is March 19th, I think. And yep, March 19th. Episode 20. This is the 20th episode for me. And today is another day that I'm blessed to be here. Blessed to be able to provide a vessel for y'all to travel vicariously through my life travels. And this is fun. And I hope it's fun for you. And today, what up, 71, episode 20, going strong. Thank you, man. And today, the topic that I put out there, which seemed to like, kick up people's interest, was why I came back to Harley Davidson. Why I came back to Harley Davidson. And I told myself, this ain't just a simple answer, and to tell you why I came back. I think it's also important to let you know why I left Harley Davidson, why I left. And what I did was I put together some pictures so I can kind of walk you through it. And I really want you to understand the science behind why I do stuff or why I did what I did. Some people just want an answer. But answers in most cases can just be shallow. And me personally, I think in some situations, an answer to something is just not enough. So what I did, like I said, what up, 63? Good to see y'all. What up, Spotville? Much love and respect, man. Thank y'all for tapping in. Oh yeah, I gotta open up this other window so I can see, but thank y'all. Good to see folks, man. Thank you for the support. That's a good feeling. So, Harley Davidson, the motorcycle. What up, Lynx? Everybody growing up, most people getting into the motorcycle scene. What up, E Hustle? Much love, man. Getting into the motorcycle scene. You probably started off on a sport bike, especially coming into the club life. A lot of people start off on sport bikes, depending on your age bracket, Sport bike. And then eventually, maybe if you stayed in a sport bike club, then you stayed on a sport bike. But if you ventured into the, outside of the sport bike club lifestyle, then that puts you into most likely the cruising world. And in Southern California, it's mostly a Harley Davidson world. And then at some point, most people find themselves wanting a Harley Davidson. So when I first started off my club, of course, the very first beginning of it was sport bikes. And really soon, I ended up getting my first Harley. And getting your first Harley, it's a lot loaded into simply getting a Harley. A lot more than you would ever expect, so I got the Harley, got into it. It starts to just kind of man you up, because you're really messing with some grown man stuff. Not saying that people on sport bikes are on some immaturity stuff, but the Harley kind of it comes with just making you hold your chest out a little bit more knowing that you got a Harley, knowing you own some grown man shit. And so with that comes the customization of the Harley. Customization. So the customization of it is you customizing your Harley to be an extension of you. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. Somebody else might be different, but for the most people might agree with me. This Harley Davidson is an extension of you, your expression, your concept, how you run your program of representing yourself. Meaning, based on what I've seen, if you're a dirty person, you're gonna have a dirty looking bike. If you're a clean, sharp person, you're gonna have a clean, sharp looking bike. If you're somebody who likes a lot of flash in the way that you dress and represent yourself, that's gonna reflect on your bike being pretty flashy. So me, you know, I'm just me. I like to represent myself, you know, with class. What's up, Veronica? Much love. I like to represent myself with class, with respect, with power, stability, and some uniqueness. And this was me before I could even say the word one down. This was me. So my first bike, when I designed it, when I first got my first Harley, it was a soft tail. It was a soft tail, a deluxe soft tail. That was my first one. And I think I already told you guys, I ended up fixing it up, and it ended up being what they said is a Mexican looking bike. So I had to go back to the drawing board. I redid it. Then I made it into a bagger with a fairing and custom paint job and all that stuff, making it look real. Only one way to say it, just black. You can just look at it and know that's a black dude's bike. Then I dumped that concept and turned it into a bobber, which was the black bike with the 2 orange stripes. I called that bike 2 stripes. So I changed it into a bobber. Now I get into the customization of learning. This is part of the lifestyle with the Harleys. You can flip flop, transform these bikes into absolutely anything you want if you know how to put it together in your head and then put it together in the shop, you know. So by saying all that, you get a Harley, and then that one serves that purpose, the bobber. Now you're looking at, okay, I want a touring bike, a dresser. So now you get a dresser. Then now I want a fast bike, small, nimble. Let me get a Dyna. And so I'm in the mix. And everything that I touch, what up, OG? Everything that I touch, I have my own set levels of where I know I need to be to represent myself through my bike. And so every single bike, when I first started off, I get a brand new bike, brand new. As soon as I get it, I've already started to get parts for it. So I get it, I bring it home, and then the first thing I do, I take the brand new motor out. The brand new motor, take it right out. Then I put in these 120R motors, these Harley Davidson race motors that they was pushing back then. And then after that, you know, transmission, if you want to get a Baker 7-speed transmission and all this other stuff. The only thing left on that Harley that you paid for, the only thing left is a VIN number that's on the frame. Everything else this is me, and I'm not speaking for everybody. Everything else has been changed out. The handlebars, the floorboards, the seat, the every painted. You even go all the way down to the frame, where everything is off the frame, and then you powder coat the frame or paint it. What up, CJ? Love you too, bro. And not to put CJ's business out there, but much love to CJ. This is a man that I've known for many years. Much love to him. He lost his complete home. His mom, everybody, they lost their home in the Pasadena fires. Burnt all the way down. And much love to CJ. He's gone through the process to rebuild and get himself, his life, family life, mother, and everybody, back stable again. So you redoing these bikes, and that's why I said if I jump into the comments, I lose my train of thought. But getting involved with these bikes, you don't realize how deep you can end up getting based on who you are around, and I was, and still am, was during that time, in the mix, active, I'm up front, meaning everybody's watching me. So I know that everything that I do, everything that I put out, it has to be a masterpiece. And at the level of the bikes that I'm putting out for me, at this level, people know it's gonna be a showstopper. So people, what they're looking for flaws. Point blank, they're looking for a flaw. So when you have something that's super dope, and people who got a good eye, they're going right to where they feel you could have cheated. And that's exactly where I made sure I didn't. Because I didn't have room to half-ass nothing. And I wasn't biting anybody's style. Everything, all my bikes, still to this day, were timeless. Timeless, meaning I feel personally I could take any one of my bikes from back then and showcase them today, and they would not look dated. A lot of people's bikes, they put all this stuff into it, and it's just dated. You see it one time, one season, like this upcoming spring, summer, that's a season. And then when you see it by the end of the year or next year, it's old, it's played out. I feel my bikes, the concept that I have, I create timeless pieces. And so with all that said, I was finding myself a number of things with Harley. Going back to it. One, the real facts. I was saying to myself, where the fuck is Harley? The only thing on this bike that's Harley is the VIN number, the frame, that's it. Everything else has to be changed out. I learned real quick when I got my first CVO, the first CVO, a 2008 Screaming Eagle CVO. I was super excited. I take that CVO straight to a picnic for one of the motorcycle clubs. And at the picnic, they were doing a bike show. So me thinking I got a CVO, and during that time, I think it was 43,000 or 48,000. I take that bike stock and I put it into the bike show, knowing this is gonna shut it down Shut it down. It's a brand new CBO. Not at all. I don't even think the bike placed because I had to learn. It was stock. It was a stock bike. Nothing on it was touched. And yes, you got a CBO, but it's stock. And again, that's when I was learning and being forced to put my own flavor to it, because nobody is getting props for a stock bike. On the side of the tracks where I'm from now, I had to learn a stock bike ain't gonna get you no props. Again, if you from somewhere else, it might be different for you, but out here in Southern California, not at all. Take your stock bike and go do something with it. So everything that I was doing to my bikes, I found myself wanting something out of it, especially when I got into the Dynas. Now the Dyna, a smaller frame bike, ride it as fast, as nimble, stand up on your pegs, going through traffic. You see another club come by, you can just stand up real quick, show your patch. And I was digging it. It's club style. It's a bona fide club bike. And so I started getting all Dynas. And then, so now we go into the politics. Now, politicking. That's a club bike. It says club, the nature of it. Everything says club. Then I start feeling like, man, why cats got Dynas, club style Dynas, and they not in the club? This is where just things get a little, sensitive, picky. So me personally, I started to get just kind of a little irritated with seeing, in my words, posers with Dynas, club style Dynas, wanting to look like they in the club from a certain angle, but they not in the club, And I could have cared less about it. Most people could care less, but for me, it was kind of bugging me because, like I said, the club lifestyle, I'm real serious on it. I enjoy it. I'm pro advocate for the lifestyle. But it probably doesn't line up to the decision that I made. And the decision that was, found myself now getting sick of Harley because I'm seeing like busters, a lot of busters on Harleys, even beyond Dynas, And so I literally just woke up one day and I was like, fuck Harley. I don't need a Harley Davidson to make me shine, or for people to like me, or for people to have interest in me. People digging my bikes is because of my concept. It's not because point blank it's just a Harley, because they already showed that a stock Harley ain't shit. And it was me, it was my concept that was making my Harleys pop. So in the club world, I said to myself, I don't like being exactly like everybody else. I just don't. No matter club world or civilian life, personal life, I respect the program, the lifestyle, the laws within the lifestyle. But I just felt that I could get away with doing something different within the boundaries that need to be respected. So I went out and I bought a BMW adventure bike, because this adventure bike reminded me of the freedom that I would get on my Dyna. the suspension, the torque, the power, just everything. But I'm on an adventure bike. Who the fuck rides an adventure bike in the club life, especially the club life, motorcycle club life that I was in? Who does that? Nobody. Cool, that's for me. That's exactly for me. I'm going to be responsible for the first club, the first person at the level of the clubs that I fellowship with to be known and recognized for riding adventure bikes. And that's right, he said one down does that. And so I got the adventure bike, and I think I just sat on it for a few months, you know, and did a little bit to it. And riding it, it just really fit like a glove. I mean, I got sprung on the adventure bike. Again, the handling, the reliability, you know, braking, acceleration, horsepower, torque. I absolutely loved it, you know, and I told myself that it's going to make people, you know, look more at me instead of the bike on judging, you know, because I knew I was and still have been, an active president in the field every day, face forward, front line, and I like to ride. So get the adventure bike. Then I noticed that I could accessorize that bike and do some custom stuff to it, because that passion was still in me, because I truly found myself bored with the adventure bike at first when I didn't think that I could customize it. But once I did my first customization on the first adventure bike that I got, then boom, it was wide open. And I'll show you pictures. So adventure bike, completely flipped it in its look to a dope ass looking all orange adventure bike. And then I got another adventure bike, then another adventure bike. And so, and these bikes were extremely powerful, fast, comfortable, made for riding, you know. I did not have to do cams. I did not have to do motor work. I didn't have to get tuning, none of that stuff, you know, just cosmetic. And so now let me back up. But before I really start doing that, I'm on the internet and I'm super bashing Harley. Fuck Harley, it's a cheap ass bike, you know, you got to do so much to it, and I'm just bashing it. And I was backing it up because it was just true, you know, in my opinion. And a lot of people, I'm gonna say a lot on both sides, a lot of people were like, what, man, why the fuck you left Harley? You fucking with these BMWs and you fucking with this, and then the other cats was like, man, I fucking love adventure bikes, but we can't fuck with them in my club. That's what some people were saying. We can't fuck with them in their club, you know. Or, man, if I could ride an adventure bike, you know, in my club, I'd ride that motherfucker all the time, you know. So some people didn't understand it. Some people did. It didn't matter to me. I stood strong with it and moved completely forward with it. My club in the beginning, like, what the fuck is that? You know? And then eventually, you know, when I'm smashing on them and, you know, and my bike start every time I started, no issues, no dumping money into repair or nothing like that. One by one, people in my club started flipping their bikes. And then eventually, the whole club, now let me say whole club, when you're doing some 80-90% of something, it looks like everybody. So probably close to 90% of the club was all adventure bikes and BMW. And you know, we moved forward, and it was fun. We made a name for ourselves on being that club who rode all adventure bikes. So time flew, and I guess you're pushing up on, you know, going through 5 years, 7 years, 8, 9, and you know, and now, you know, 10 years, where we at approximately now. The first adventure bike that I got it in 2014, but it was a 15 model. I got it in 2014, but it was a 15 model. And so, like I said, it's been about 10, 11 years since I got my first adventure. And that first year is when I started to walk away from Harley. I was buying adventure bikes, but I had stopped buying Harleys. And I had started to low-key get rid of my Harleys to get an adventure bike. Get rid of a Harley, get an adventure bike. And so I enjoyed it. I love the adventure bikes, still to this day. What's my favorite bike on planet Earth? Adventure bike. Adventure bike is my favorite bike. If I only had to have one bike, it would be an adventure bike over any of my Harley Davidsons. And no, it would not be a Harley Davidson adventure bike. It would be probably a Ducati or a BMW adventure bike. I say that just so that right now that's said. So with the 10 years of being away from Harley, me being in a motorcycle club, I realized, and I started to realize years ago, there's not a lot of people looking for a club. People say, I'm looking for a co-ed club, not co-ed, interracial club. I'm looking for a mixed club that ride adventure bikes, that fellowship on a certain side of the tracks with certain clubs. Again, nobody's looking for an interracial club that ride adventure bikes, that fellowship on a certain side of the tracks with certain clubs. That's not what nobody's looking for. And I started to see that in, the response from people taking interest in One Down. And so I told myself a couple of years ago, that if I wanted to, see this club grow, it would be to my best interest to invest into a Harley Davidson for political club reasons of representation of being on a Harley. So, with that being said, why did I come back to Harley? Why did I come back to Harley? One reason. For motorcycle club lifestyle reason. For the reason of being in a motorcycle club. To make sure that I really have the tool that's needed for political reasons. People want to see a Harley Davidson. People want to see, they want to hear the rumble of that club pulling up. it is a nostalgic, relationship. Harley Davidson Motorcycle Club. They go together. Peanut butter and jelly. They go together. So I went ahead and I got a Harley Davidson, I think about 2 years ago. And all I was supposed to do was just get one. That was my plan. I'ma just get one Harley to keep in my stable. At least I got one, and I'll start taking that one to club events for the visual representation of me being on a Harley. I told my club members, don't follow this. I don't want people flipping their bikes to get a Harley. I was gonna do it because I know that they absolutely love their adventure bikes. One of my club guys, he's on right now. He had a Harley Davidson when he first came to the club. It was a Road King. He looked like a nerd on it. Looked like a nerd. Couldn't ride it well. And was kind of, he just looked real spooked and fragile on it. And when I switched to the adventure bike, of course I kind of forced it on him, but immediately, boom, overnight, everything about his riding skill completely changed. Overnight, completely changed. And he's handling that bike, looks good on it, and he absolutely loves it. And that was the response from a lot of people in the club, but him specifically, still to this day, he's still on his adventure bike. And so I got that first Harley, that I just recently got, and then I got another one. Got rid of my adventure, got rid of an adventure, and that's what I told myself. I'll just get rid of my adventure bikes as I swap them out for Harleys. And where I'm at right now, I've created a really nice stable of my Harley Davidsons, my own concept. I ain't using no platform from what anybody else is doing. And I can say that I find myself missing the sound of the Harley Davidson. And I'm gonna tell you that the stuff that I miss, the stuff that I miss is nothing that you can touch. It's nothing you can touch. I miss the sound. I miss the creativity of the visualness of them. Truly the sound. Truly, it's the sound. I miss the sound. And so, again, me coming back to Harley Davidson had everything to do with club life. 100% club life. And I'll say it again. If a law was passed and it was against the law to have more than one motorcycle, against the law, I would just have one bike, and it would be an adventure bike. It would not be a Harley Davidson. Even with club life, I would then submit and commit to the adventure bike. So Harley Davidson today, again, you get it, and a stock Harley Davidson, again, for the lifestyle that I'm around, that stock Harley Davidson ain't shit when you pull up. Stock ain't shit. I don't care if you paid $35,000 for it, which is probably your first bike. You like, damn man, 35, Nope. Stock Harley ain't shit. Or you paying 56, 58 for, a CVO. So what? That ain't shit. Or if you're paying 70 for a CVO trike, A CVO trike, in case y'all didn't know that, is $70,000. A CVO trike. So me back with Harley. Yes, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. You pull up to events, and you're representing your club. You're representing you as a man. Your bike is an extension of you, and it just fits the lifestyle. A Harley, and again, this is in my opinion, fits the lifestyle of what people are looking forward to seeing. Nobody's looking forward. I can say nobody, but most people not looking forward to seeing a recognized club that they know or heard of pull up on like all adventure bikes to a Harley event. We did it for 10 years, enjoyed it, but like I said, for the purpose of not putting myself, my club, into a very unique situation of limiting ourselves to possibly, being a club that people look at to come to. I just really said that, I need to get a Harley. So it's been fun. It's been exciting. And I do miss it. I miss the creativity of building a bike and putting my flavor to it. And if anybody has done this, that the funnest part is just putting it together. The funnest part is putting it together. And to give you an idea, it's like foreplay. So putting it together is the foreplay. And then once it's done, completely done, and then you take it out that first day, boom, that's when you bust your nut. And for the most, it's over, and you do have your mindset on building something else. Even though that's super dope. It's dope. But you want to build something else. And it's that dopamine in your head of, chasing that creativity part of building another bike. And for me, maybe my passion for the dopamine kicks in so much for that because I don't do dope. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't drink. I don't watch sports. I don't do a whole lot of stuff that other people do. So maybe that's why all my energy that could be going that way on stuff goes towards simply, putting it towards putting together a bike for me. So B Wood said, what's next? What's next? The Dyna King. The Dyna King is back. So so I'm working on a Dyna right now. And the Dyna will be dope. And I don't, and so for me, I'll be 54 this year. And you got to talk to yourself and you say like, man, do I just keep moving forward because I enjoy doing this, or am I supposed to stop because in 6 years I will be 60? But I feel like if I stop or slow down, I'm not going to be happy by just applying the brakes too early, just because of a number or age. You know, and again, at 50, 53 going on 54, the Dyna that I'm building, I mean, it ain't nothing of a old man's bike. I mean, all my bikes, you know, is, you know, they hot rods. And this is a bike that a 17-year-old is gonna fall in love with, a 20-year-old, a 30-year-old, a 40-year-old. And that's just where my flavor concept is at, you know, because inside of me, that's where I'm at. But the age is the number that could be applicable to some people, but I just don't feel like it applies to me, you know. So at 60, could I be building another hot rod Dyna? Probably so, because that's what makes me happy, you know. And that's what I think I think somebody out there even needs to hear that, you know. And it's, you know, it's my spirit inside. But Harley Davidson, oh, let me see. Hit the like button. Oh, thank you, Veronica. Yeah, hit the like button. I appreciate that. And Logic is one of the brothers also. No, Logic, who's on now, he is the brother that told me, I would like to hear you on your podcast speak on why you came back to Harley. I personally didn't think it was anything of a subject, but the more I thought about it, you know, I found it to be an amazing topic to, oh shit, Nasty from the Bay, y'all, what's up, Kev? Good to see you. Man, I love the support out there, man. Thank y'all. Thank you for tapping in, man. Thank you for letting me know that you watching by tapping in. I appreciate that, man. And Nasty, y'all can look him up. Kevin Ricks. That's a brother up there in the Bay. Been known. Ride his ass off. Ride his ass off. And much props to you, brother. But I've always wanted to know why you went back to Harley as well. And yeah, I didn't really think it was that much of a topic. I feel like you already see what your new bike will look like before you even build it. And you know, that's one thing. Yeah, truthfully, I have to completely map out the bike completely before I even purchase the bike. I have to completely map it out, and once I map it out, then boom, I'm moving forward, you know. And so so here's what I put together. Boom, episodes right here. Okay, so this is some photos that's on a video, set up as a video. Screen. Oh no, not there. Oh, my bad. Okay, so let me come up out of there. Remove from screen. Let me go into the dynamic. Now we are good to go. Okay. So I'm gonna press pause so y'all can go back. So right here. So this image. What? Oh, who won't stay paused? Let's see if this stays paused. Okay, so it stayed paused. Okay, so I use this image just to show a real timeline. On the far right, you'll see it says May 15, 2016. 2016, this is 2026 right now. So yes, this is 10 years ago. 10 years ago. And this bike, I purchased it in 2014, but it was a 2015 model. It came out just like a couple of months in 15 after I bought it. Um, so I wanted to show this because my absence of 10 years on being on Harley, my absence, my reputation prior to me leaving that I built was so strong that it held strong throughout those 10 years. And that's something that, you know, I find awesome, to be able to still be recognized for my bikes for, you know, so long ago. And, you know, a good welcome back as well. And working with, you know, those in the industry on the Harley side. And I would have regret not mentioning this. Props to Brandon Quaid at Quaid Harley Davidson, you know, for welcoming me back to Harley, and you know, showing me love. And every single person that I refer to Harley Davidson, Quaid Harley Davidson, Brandon takes care of them. The person ends up leaving with a bike and they're happy with it. It ain't no funny business. And that dealership is a dealership that I do put my name on. So I want to give props to Quaid Harley Davidson, props to Brandon Quaid. What's up, head turners? Let me see. So that, I just wanted to show a timestamp right there of May 15th. And so this is the first picture that I took of my first adventure bike, I think the day I brought it home. And this was a foreign object to everybody in my club, and people like, what the fuck are you doing, you know? Oh, Guilty, what's up, man? Thank you. And Guilty is Stacy Ogman, professional basketball player. Guilty is with a motorcycle club called the Rare Breed MC, and I had the honor of making Stacy Ogman, Guilty, a customized leather jacket. He got two of them for me. One of them was all red, the other one was black. And he's so tall, arms are so long, the makers of the leather jacket, they were getting upset with me, telling me I was getting the wrong numbers of his fucking arm length. So they was stalling the project, thinking that I'm just the numbers were wrong. So they made me contact Stacy, tell Stacy, you have to take a picture and show a ruler against your arm so it can prove that your arms are that long. And then I got to submit that back to him. So we had to go through all that stuff. And so Stacy, thank you very much, man, for doing business with me, man. And I'm glad that everything worked out. And so that's my adventure bike. And so that's how it looked when it was stock. And that's what I thought I was going to do, just get it and leave it stock. And then right here is what I did to it. You know, that's my customization to it. Fender, tires, paint, all kind of stuff, you know, that I can point out. And seat, all kind of stuff. And again, this allowed me to, you know, exercise my expression of being creative with my adventure bikes. That's a side shot of it. And this is a GS. So you got the GS model, and then you got the Adventure, which is a bigger model. But this is still an adventure bike. And this is, you know, when my club members started, each one by one, getting the adventure bikes. And everybody loved them, you know. And of course, still had, you know, a riding passion for the nostalgicness of being on a Harley. But when you have, you know, your team all on the same page, you know, it's a different type of pride when people doing stuff together, you know. And that's just another shot of some of the adventure bikes. And this is my shop that was off of Redlands Boulevard back then. And so this right here is a BMW Adventure, which is a bigger tank. Okay, and then I started doing customizations to that, as you can see. This is a different bike, not from the all orange one. And 525, that's my number. So in my club, on our bags, we started to just put our number, just, you know, a number, a 3-digit number that you like, you know, and just to bring some unique representation to our bikes and just doing our own thing. And these bikes were fast. And so this is some of us, like I said, with our numbers and us pulling up to places and just really, really, really enjoying these adventure bikes. And that's me. This was taken at a rare breed event, one of their picnics a few years ago, several years ago. And again, for me, you know, I look good on it, the bike looked good, but it was just different. It wasn't the nostalgic club bike to be on. But for 10 years, I made it something amazing to see us pull up on adventure bikes. And this is inside of my shop, you know, on, you know, taking parts off the bike, you know, modifying stuff. What's up, Dion? Thank you, bro. Thank you very much. And then this is, you know, really getting into it. Really, really getting all the way into it. And much love. Could have forgot this. Much love to my mechanic, Drew. Drew has been by my side for many, many, many years. Drew does all my bike stuff. And especially all my adventure stuff. And even on my Harley stuff now, Drew does everything except just my super duper high performance motors part of it. But other than that, Drew does everything else. And not saying Drew cannot do the high performance motor stuff, but there's just some things that I know I want, that I just simply want to take it to somebody who super duper specializes in what they specialize in. But Drew has been amazing with every single bike I've had, bringing it to life. And so these are all BMWs. That's the 1250 that came out. Before that, the 1200, and then the orange one. And so again, I started to just build my, and if you look in the far back left, you'll see a little motocross dirt bike back there. That was also for the streets. And this right here is when I decided to get a BMW bagger. So this was called, this is the first year this one just came out. A K1600B. I think that's what it was. And then I did my own customization to it. But you know, this bike right here, it's a bagger. It was comfortable, fast, 160 horsepower stock. 160 horsepower stock. If you buy a Harley to get it up to 160 horsepower, you know, you're spending the thousands to get it up to 160 horsepower, which is rare. That's a rare situation also, you know. So that bike right there was comfortable. I enjoyed it. And That was a BMW. It's just a little customization. Um, had a seat made and all kind of stuff I did to it, exhaust and stuff like that. And my other club brother, 36, he ended up getting one. He still has his. Absolutely loves it. And that's me and him. And one thing about riding these bikes, when you pulling up on people, they just get out the way, because they either get out the way or they slow down, because everybody think you're a cop. Everybody think you're a cop. You can see people peeking at you, and it's kind of just funny. But yeah, everybody just move out the way. So it's actually like a safe bike to be on, because people just get the fuck out the way. And that's me standing next to it. And that's me standing next to it. And that's, you know, let me see, BMW. I think that's, I don't know what that is in the far, and then a BMW in the back. And these are all BMWs. And like I said, this is when, you know, things really converted out. And everybody was enjoying adventure bikes and BMWs. And this right here is when I wanted to take a taste of Harley's adventure bike that they created, and this is called the Pan America. So I had got this the moment it came out, and I just wanted to get a taste of it. And what did I do? I put the bags on it, I put some risers on it, I put the meaty tires on it, I think some pegs, painted the windshield. Burns, a company called Burns exhaust, they did a custom exhaust. And this bike right here felt like a Dyna with motor work. That's how this felt, the way I had it in its seating position also. So yes, this bike right here is fast and torquey, and it gets up. Oh, let me see. Logic said, didn't you get that out the crate? I didn't see which one you said did I get out the crate. But this again is the Harley Davidson Pan America Adventure bike. And I don't have nothing bad to say about it at all. I got it and just wanted to test it out, and ended up selling it because in comparison to the BMW Adventure bike, I liked the BMW Adventure bike better than this, but this Pan America stands strong in its own lane. And this is us, you know, pulling up as we did for, you know, many years, and we still do on our adventure bikes, you know, with the club that we function with. And you know, and that's something that I had wondered, you know, like I had wondered, you know, how would clubs receive us pulling up on adventure bikes? And it was just two things. It was like cool, or, you know, we ain't fucking with y'all no more. That shit is weird looking. But I didn't think that would happen, because I felt in my heart it's about, you know, the person, you know. I just told myself, this can't be just about a bike, you know, your acceptance is just about a bike. And then right here, this is what it looked like when, you know, I'm on my adventure riding with one of my folks. You know, and it was no love lost, nothing but gains, and it's always been that way, and it'll continue to be that way. So that is make sure that the last photo. Yeah. So that's the long version, the only version that I can give you. The only thing I can, let me see. The more I ride, TEH, more I understand it is not about the bike you ride. I have rode with people on all types of bikes and had fun with. That's right. today. Oh, and then after BMW, I ended up getting KTM's adventure bikes. KTM's. So the BMW adventure bikes, those were 134 horsepower. 134. And then with research, I got into the KTM's, the KTM adventure bikes, 160 horsepower. These bikes are light, they're fast. And then after the KTM's, I ended up getting all Ducati bikes. I went all Ducati, everything Ducati. Ducati sport bike, Ducati adventure bike, Ducati everything. Okay, Multistrada, Panigale, everything Ducati. And so that's where I was sitting. That's where I was sitting before I just came back to Harley. So I was flipping out my Ducatis, and I've been flipping out my Ducatis as I come back to Harley. And I told myself I would just flip them out instead of add to the stable, just flip them out. And nothing's wrong with Ducati. Ducati is a very, and then the Ducati adventure bikes are 170 horsepower, 170. So again, if I had to keep one bike, it would be my Ducati adventure bike, which is 170 horsepower, and it's amazing. Rode that bike to Denver and back with a breeze. Rode it back from Denver straight, 1,000 miles straight, and comfortable. It was all good. Go, stop, gas, go, stop, gas, go, stop, gas. Boom, home. 1,000 miles. That bike is amazing. And I've had people that tapped in with me. And I want to give y'all a shout out. And I want to say to the people that contacted me and said, Goldie, they didn't say the only, they said, Goldie, I left Harley because of you. I got a BMW Adventure, or I got the BMW Bagger, and I love it. I've had no regrets. But these are people who wanted me to know that they're thankful that I just turned them on to something else beyond just Harley, you know. So me coming back to Harley, I'm not shaking nobody. I'm just doing me. But I don't expect nobody to keep up with me. And that's why I told my club brothers, leave this alone. Stay on your adventures. You know, stay in your BMW baggers, whatever you got. This is just me. And if you find yourself wanting to get a Harley, so be it. But I'm not trying to have nobody spend no extra money. You know, getting a Harley and me being back on Harley, you know, we got a prospect, and this prospect, his name is Digital. Cool brother. He has a black Road Glide, and you know, I don't know if that was his spirits, just like saying, okay, yeah, you did it, you did it for club reasons, so I'm gonna shoot you a prospect, you know, and I'm happy for that, and it is me getting what I was reaching for. And so I want to say thank you to the spirits. Let me see. There's that blue and white BMW. And so my club brother right now, 71, even with his adventure bike, you know, he spoke on probably getting rid of his adventure bike to get a newer bike, you know. And I say that because he is at the crossroad of, if he wanted to get a Harley, because he's at the crossroad of getting a new bike. But I don't expect him to get a Harley. because I've seen how much he's matched up with the adventure bike, you know. And so, oh, you know what? Let me check something real quick. Let me check this. Oh yeah, this is something I would just want everybody for health reasons. Health reasons. I need you to hear this. Check this out.
This is the amount of blood in your body. This is the amount of sugar your bloodstream can handle at any given time. And this is the amount of sugar the average American eats every single day. Sugar in the brain is called dementia. Sugar in the pancreas and bloodstream is called type 2 diabetes. Sugar in the skin is called aging. Sugar in the liver is fatty liver disease. Sugar in the heart is cardiovascular disease. And sugar in the kidneys is kidney failure. Your body isn't the problem. The overload is. And that overload doesn't just live in your blood, it settles in your gut, your liver, and your cells, quietly building until your body starts breaking down. This is exactly what bitter herbs were made for. For thousands of years, farmers and healers used soursop leaf, black seed, turmeric, neem, and ginger to cleanse the liver, scrub the blood, and restore what the overload destroys. Balance your blood and clean your gut, and you can change the entire story. That is what Serene Herbs Bitters does. Every one of these herbs in one bottle. Old world wisdom made simple. Link is in my...
I'm not here to endorse what he's selling. Everything before that was the most important part. You know, sugar is a toxic. It is truly a toxic to the body. But this government not going to push that. But it's a toxic, and it's not, you know, a natural sugar from fruit. That's totally different from, you know, this horrible man-made sugar. You know, so just know that everything regarding sugar being a contributor to diabetes, dementia, all that stuff, it is extremely true. So today, take this as another heads up, another warning. Cut sugar out of your diet. Stop eating sweet bullshit that's literally killing you. You know, and if you feel like you just have a problem with cutting it out, then that's what's telling you is that there's addictive chemicals being put in stuff that's making people addicted to stuff, you know. But sugar is extremely deadly for us. When you drink iced tea and you sit there and put sugar into it, stop doing that. Or if you think, hey, I can use a sweet and low or this other shit, stop doing that. It's deadly. Leave all that shit alone. Just drink spring water. Spring water is where you at. I don't know if you guys can hear that air compressor that can't start like that.
Bio, but it sells out fast, so don't wait.
Oh yeah, this is what I wanted to show, and I'm glad folks are still here. Thank you, bro. You gonna close this for me? Thank you. So this right here is a video. Oh, I'm so glad. So after this, you know, I'll let y'all go. But this video right here, in my opinion, is the absolute hardest, dopest music video dedicated to the set in Southern California. And I wanted to give Anthony, Big Ant, and Ronnie from HDTV their props. These brothers have been putting it down for years. And when I saw this video, I said, Ant, can I get permission to run this video on my podcast and run this video from my YouTube? Because everybody needs to see this. Everybody needs to be aware of this amazing music video that you put together. It's showing, you know, people on the set from years ago that, you know, people would call legends. And I ain't doing this. I'm not in it. You know, so don't think that I'm doing this because I'm in it. I'm not in it. This is a video that just really shows the heartbeat of the motorcycle set. The lyrics, the way it's laid out, go with everything right on time of the video of what's being displayed. And again, much props to Big Ant and Ronnie for everything they've been doing for so many years. And so yeah, I'm glad I remembered to show you this. Here we go. Add to screen. Here. Boom.
They thought it was over. They thought the camera stopped rolling. Big Ant in the building. I ain't paying homage to the legends. Culture don't fold, legends don't disappear, they reload.
Niggas outside, loud music, big motor. Getting that footage, don't flinch, get closer. Ronnie hosts the night, keep the chaos in order. Niggas talking shit on Big Ant recorder. Niggas getting sideways, staining the streets. Diamond cuts shining when the headlights meet. Busting through the states, never stuck in one scene. Ass shaking shit, talk on HDTV. Ronnie on the mic, get the night stay lit. Bike set, legend, whole set tapped in. Out of pocket talk, get addressed on the strip. Face shield shut, let the throttle hand pin. Ass shaking everywhere, camera don't blink. Big Ant zoomed in, catching that pink. Broadcast live, let the whole world think. Thug script scene, HCTV 8. Cali to Vegas, Arizona, then back. Same hawk, same ride, a different racetrack. Gas stop, state lines never unpacked. Miles in the motor, all earned, that's facts. Ant don't act, he just roll and record. Backyard custom Narski coming hard. Built from scratch after years on the yard. Press play, lean back when y'all niggas get bored. Ransom custom mirror paint, no slack. Orange cream drip, both hawks 80 stacks. Street life certified, look, no cap. Scooter blueprint, have your bags on slack. Hard pick customs, make hearts with no fear. Maserati bike made a whole set steer. Bolo was the first with the 200 rear. And the 911 bike was ahead of its years. Candy shop hunt, setting trends with our folks. Down to the frame in the chrome mallet bolts. Powder coat glaze, candy shop, no joke. Got niggas in their pockets out here broke. Handlebar lead been still to the mark. Triple OG giving deal from the start. Baby slip, roll, glide, glow in the dark. Displayed in the bubble, came straight from the heart. Boulevard on the ones and twos, keeping them moving. Bass hitting hard, got the whole club grooving. Boogie on stage, no time for assuming. If the beat keep knocking, then the night keeps booming. Dynamite was fast with the 8 on the side. Cross the finish line, perfect time when he ride. Rich took the crown, big motor, shave time, but you can't take away from that 1059. People chant, candy cane, nothing was stopped. Baby slip, whipped out bricks, no rocks. Roadblock screaming like the engine got ops. No need to win, just took what's locked. Big Ant in the lab, don't stop the production. Me and my bro need to have that discussion. Two niggas solving what pride was adjusted. Now HD TV back in its function.
There you go. Yeah, I got some right here. Make sure I'm giving they full props. Put it all in print. Thank you, Big Ant and Ronnie. This video is the truth to the California motorcycle set. Goldie the Wit. So much props, man. So yeah, so I'm gonna also put that video into its own YouTube video. So you don't have to only check it out at the end of this video. But yeah, so much props. That's what's up. Big Charles. Much love, y'all. Thank you, Charles. Hey, thank everybody who tuned in today. Thank everybody in the chat who tapped in, said something. Again, if y'all could just subscribe to the YouTube, just log out, or however you do it, just hit subscribe. That way you get the notifications of when I put up a new video, a live, a post. Because on YouTube you can do posts now, images, and you can type stuff in, people go read it. So you got live, videos, and posts. I'm not sure if there's something else, but that way you'll just get everything that I put out. And I will see y'all next Thursday at 1 p.m. And again, thank you so much for the support. I hope this video was everything that you anticipated it to be. I hope I didn't leave anything out with my long-winded explanation of why I came back to Harley. oh shit, I'm talking down here. Let me see. There we go. Why I came back to Harley, and Scooter. Scooter, rest in peace. That's right, Spottville, rest in peace. Scooter was the brother in that video we just saw. He was leaning up on his bike. He was known, you know, for the music, putting music on people's bikes. But again, I appreciate y'all tapping in, and in closing, there's a female. Her name is Miss Goldie. A female. She rode with us this past Sunday, and I took him on this hill, one of the steepest hills in the greater Los Angeles area. And I did it on purpose, because this is just something that you gotta, you know, get broken in on when you ride your bike. And it scared the absolute dog shit out of her, and it was supposed to. And you either make it or break it. Same thing with the other lady who was with us, Jackie. First time they ever seen that hill, no, not seen it, but was confronted with either drop your bike or get through it and you learn something from it. I was confident that they would get through it and learn something from it, and they did. And it's on video, and it's on my YouTube under videos. And I say all that because if everything continues, right on Spottville, if everything continues to go as planned, then I think she's scheduled to be on my podcast in April, which is next month, in April. I think it's April, I'm not sure. But she's never done an interview before. Never done an interview. And for those who know her, you know that, you know, she's straightforward and ain't with the bullshit and likes to speak the truth. So that's a good fit for this platform. But all right, y'all. Everybody be good out there. Eat healthy, eat clean, stay away from the junk food, stop smoking all that weed, and don't drink and drive on your motorcycle. Make this spring and this summer a safe summer, you know. And if you in a club, keep your club business to yourself. If you have a disgruntlement and you end up out of your club, keep your little punk ass off of anybody's platform speaking dirty on your club. It's a bad look for you, point blank. Just take it to the chin and leave it alone. And for any platform out there that's using the name gang instead of motorcycle club, fuck you. Stop using that. These are motorcycle clubs. We are motorcycle clubs. And if you did not know, no, you do not call a motorcycle club anything but a motorcycle club. Point blank, motorcycle club. Do not use that phrase that start with a G. That ain't got nothing to do with us. Motorcycle club. All right, y'all. Y'all stay down. Much love.